Hey everyone, it's Warren Wiechmann again. We're going to go through a product review today. Today it's going to be the Logitech Keyboard Case. For many of you that have seen this product before, it's also been known as the ZAG case. Now what's kind of neat about this case, it's a little bit different. It's keyboard and case combination, and it's a little bit different in appearance than most cases. You have that kind of brushed aluminum look to it, and the same sort of material as the iPad. When you go ahead and flip it over, you'll actually see that the iPad sort of sits nicely in that case, and it also has openings there for both the USB adapter, volume buttons on the side, cameras exposed on the back. You also have the power and the microphone buttons or slots easily accessible. So we're going to go ahead and open this up and take a closer look at the keyboard itself. Now it's a pretty full-size keyboard that we have here, very similar in size to the Apple Bluetooth keyboard that you could purchase also for the iPad 2. You're also going to see that this keyboard is a little bit different in that it has a top row of sort of hotkeys or smart buttons up there that include lock buttons, volume control, and playback control buttons, cut, copy, and paste buttons right next to that, as well as a keyboard toggle and separate buttons dedicated to the home screen and search functionality. Now when we go ahead and take out the iPad and take a look at the actual mechanism for what keeps it in place, there's this padded rubber bar there with a little groove and notch, as well as paddings in the four corners to make sure your iPad doesn't scratch up. Your iPad just sits nicely in that little space in either landscape or portrait format and is pretty stable in there. You also have the status buttons and the on and off button in the upper right hand corner there to power on and power off the device. Now my only complaint to date with this case is that if you look at it from the side, there is some issues with how secure the iPad actually sits in that groove there. Not a very deep groove, so if you're holding it in portrait or in landscape, there is a potential, if you're not on a flat surface, for the iPad to fall out. So if you're taking notes on your lap, for example, or on a plane or in a lecture hall where you don't have a desk and the whole case is tilted back, there's a pretty high likelihood that if you tilt back more, wiggle around in your chair, the iPad can sort of wiggle itself out and fall out of the case. Now the problem with that is you can see because of the case there's not any room for additional padding on the back of the iPad. There's a potential for damage to your device to happen that way, and again, of course, the steeper the angle, the more likely it is for the case to let go of the iPad, for the iPad to fall out. Now this has already happened to me 2 or 3 times with the device, that's why I sort of bring it up. But otherwise, it's a pretty cool case, very slim, doesn't add too much in the way of additional weight and size to the iPad, and it is sort of a nice kind of cool alternative to your standard cases there. The other thing too, it actually is pretty secure when it's in there, sort of pressed down once you put the iPad into the case. Hasn't fallen out on me yet, pretty stable once it's in there, and all in all pretty compact and good case. So to summarize, the good parts of the Logitech keyboard case are the fact that it's a keyboard and case combination. Slim and light form factor is really key to making it portable. Good looking, cool appearance, great Bluetooth connectivity, and the keys feel very much like the Apple keyboard. Now on the con side of it, the downside I really have to say is that the iPad can easily fall out when you're using it on an angle. As you saw, there's not much protection to the back side of the iPad, and the keyboard's probably about an inch or so smaller than the regular keyboard, so the keyboard at times can feel a little bit cramped if you have bigger hands. Overall, pretty good case for the price, though I would think twice if you plan to use this on the road if you don't have a flat area to work, just in case your iPad does fall out. That's it. Let us know if you have any questions. As always, my email address is listed here, and you can find us on the website at imeded.uci.edu. Thanks a lot, everyone. Goodbye.